Okay, what the heck, man? I thought today's video was just gonna be me saying, hey, the new patch came out today and it fixed some things, and here's the new swatches they added, and let's see if they actually fix the adventure awaits curtain rod. But what EA and Maxis did today is breaking my brain. Just yesterday, I uploaded a video of me playing with the Spongebob DLC for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and not only did they announce a creator kit today, they announced 2 kits for Spongebob. What is going on? That is just absolutely bonkers timing. I'm still just in disbelief even hours later. This is not going to be a comprehensive look at everything we're getting. I'm only even mentioning this DLC at all because it does also thematically tie in with free content that I also want to talk about. But I do want to go over a few ridiculous highlights that convince me even more that EA is actively trying to run The Sims into the ground reputation-wise. So you know how for the past few years with expansion packs, they do a stupid thing where you have to buy the expansion pack within the first month or so in order to get a few items that are just extras but will never be available again after that? Well, now they're doing it with the kits, which sets a scary precedent for potentially more kits to do this in the future. So there's 3 Bikini Bottom items, a guitar, an aquarium, and a Flying Dutchman themed jungle gym. This bundle, it does cost $10, which is the same as what stuff packs cost. So they could have just done a stuff pack, but they're doing 2 kits. So that's more evidence that stuff packs are truly dead and not coming back. And they actually cost more individually because there's a SpongeBob's house kit and there's a SpongeBob kids room kit, and each one is $6.99 instead of $4.99. So it's just like what they did with Katy Perry Sweet Treats back in the day, where that was a more expensive stuff pack than normal. So they really have the audacity to do that. Like, oh my god. Also, if EA has the same sort of deal going with Nickelodeon like Sega does with Sonic Racing Crossworlds, then there might be kits for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Avatar: The Last Airbender late next year, because that's what's happening with that game. But now for the free content. So there's a login event. So it's not one of those where you're actively doing missions in order to earn the rewards. You're literally just logging in, like that very first event that they did. So that is running from December 16th until January 13th. Some of these rewards are quite something, considering they will require certain DLCs for them to be available in your game. So to break it down, logging in on day 1 will get you earmuffs, the magnet board, and a playful dolphin magnet. December 19th, you get the Happy Home mailbox and a festive fronds palm tree. And then on Christmas Eve, December 24th, you get mountain boots, fuzzy mittens, and a spaceship magnet. On Christmas Day, you get the Littlest Neighborhood Library. I'm confused by that one because it still looks like a mailbox that comes with different designs. And then there's the Frosty Snowman magnet as well. And then on the 26th, there's the Krabby Patty secret recipe and the Serious Business Ticket Machine, which is a variation of the ticket kiosk from the Businesses and Hobbies expansion. And then on December 27th, you get the Bikini Bottom hoodie and the Creature Comforts pet hoodie, which requires cats and dogs. On December 28th, there's a Holiday in Sulani themed button up, and there's a Chili Days magnet. On December 30th, there's a Cutest Kiwi magnet. My Little Void Critter toddler slide, though that's interesting they don't note that you need toddler stuff, because that slide is originally from that pack. Maybe they made that base game compatible at some point. But then there's also the My Big Void Critter child slide, which is a reskin of an Adventure Awaits item, so you will need that expansion pack for that to work. And then on January 2nd, you'll get the Undersea Landline Phone and the pointiest dino magnet, which is actually Bababoo from My Sims Kingdom. So yeah, that's kind of cute. And that is it. So they are really hitting that FOMO hard, because if they're going to update packs with new items, just make that available to everyone who has the pack without having to log in within a certain time period. And just to clarify, you don't have to log in on the exact day to get that item. So like, for example, with the mailbox and the palm tree on December 19th, they're still gonna be available for a while after the 19th. You don't have to log in on that day to get those two items. However, you have to start logging in by January 4th, the latest, so that you can keep logging in every day to catch up on all those rewards. That's it for the SpongeBob related stuff. It is funny, the contrast in the reaction between SpongeBob DLC for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds compared to The Sims 4, because with Cross Worlds is in that name. Like in lap 2, you teleport to another world, so it makes more sense for all those crossovers to be happening, including SpongeBob. But then with The Sims 4, there's been so many big brand collabs that have gotten so much hate, and with this SpongeBob DLC, or DLCs technically, it just feels like the next in line of that. It's like every few years, it's inevitable that there's going to be some sort of hated brand collab, and they just don't get it. They just don't get it that Simmers hate them. They just keep doing it anyways because money, I suppose. And speaking of money, these DLCs might have been in talks even before the EA buyout was an idea. I don't know how long the buyout was in talks for, but they apparently, even for a kit, take a year to make. And then with collabing with such a big property and hammering out all the details surrounding that, it might have taken a year and a half. I don't know. So yeah, this was probably going to happen regardless of the buyout happening or not. In any case, EA is just making it so easy to boycott new DLC, because you can just so easily skip out on this stuff. And if you're on PC or Mac, even more so, because you can just download SpongeBob custom content that might look even better than what they're even providing in these kits. So about today's free updates, not really too much to talk about. The patch notes, I didn't notice anything different compared to the laundry list, so there's no point in me reading all that stuff out again. But they did attach pictures of the new swatches for the furniture. So yeah, they added some swatches to seating, and they also added purple swatches to some build items in businesses and hobbies. In addition, they have made it so that gates that have lanterns attached to them actually have those lanterns light up the area, so that's good that they've improved that as well. One last thing I wanted to look at was to see whether they did fix the curtain rod for Adventure Awaits. And yep, now it does look the same as the curtain. It matches with it. So yep, they did thankfully fix that. So that is pretty much it. There's no other news today, right? Oh, come on!